After he was raised from the dead, the Gospel of Luke records for us a conversation that took place between Jesus and two of his disciples on the way to a little village called Emmaus. It's in Luke chapter 24. And central to that conversation was this idea that Luke records for us in verse 27. And beginning with Moses and all the prophets, he interpreted to them in all the scriptures the things concerning himself. The prophet that Jesus quoted the most during his ministry on earth was the prophet Isaiah. And I'm sure that the prophet Isaiah was central to this conversation between Jesus and two of his disciples on the way to Emmaus. On September 27, we are going to begin a sermon series on the vision of Isaiah. The title of the series is going to be The Vision of Isaiah, Seeing the Savior Through the Eyes of the Prophet. The sermon series will not be a verse-by-verse or a chapter-by-chapter exposition of the book of Isaiah, but rather what we're going to do is, since Jesus said these things are there concerning him, we're going to look for Jesus in the prophet's vision, the book of Isaiah. During this time that Isaiah served as prophet, he was a prophet to the people of Judah, the southern kingdom of Israel, and he prophesied during a time in which they knew great prosperity and economic success. They were very strategically located, and they had a king who reigned for many years, King Uzziah. This was all taking place during the first half of the 8th century BC. So it was easy during his reign to live under the conviction that the Lord was king. The time of prosperity and success, however, was also their undoing. They began to reject the Lord as king and turn to idols of profit and success at any expense. And so the rich became richer and the poor became poorer. God sent in Assyria to bring his people back. It is this invasion and the following invasion by Babylon that Isaiah warned his people against. The first half of the book of Isaiah is about the judgment they would experience because of their self-centeredness and idolatry. The second half of the book of Isaiah is about the comfort that God would bring his people through the suffering servant and the conquering Messiah. We will consider these major themes of judgment and comfort or hope in our study of the vision of Isaiah. The primary commentaries that I'm going to be using are this book, the commentary, The Message of Isaiah by Barry Webb, and then also The Prophecy of Isaiah by Alec Motyer. You can pronounce it however you'd like. But these are going to be the primary commentaries that I use, and I want to encourage you to purchase them, or at least purchase this one by Webb, and then perhaps you might want to purchase this book by Alec Motyer, in which he writes a daily devotion based on the book of Isaiah. It's Isaiah by the Day, a new devotional translation. And so you may want to purchase that. It's a daily study that you can use throughout our study of the book of Isaiah. What my hope is that we as a church will understand our role as we worship the Lord as King and understand him to be the King, the servant, the conqueror, the one who reigns over us, reigns over our souls. So looking forward to the study of Isaiah. May God bless you and your family and our church family as we study this great book together.